Television is not for us. It is for you and me, but for us, together, no. There was a time where togetherness was brought about by television, but those days are long gone. Somewhere along the line, we lost cohesiveness, and what lies in front are dark hallways leading to isolated individuals. Let's have a watch party. When was the last time you heard those words? Not for a sporting event or movie even, but for a recurring show. An event where a group of people regularly convene to sit in front of a television screen to share a commonality in a piece of media. For many, it was the final season of Game of Thrones back in 2019. During that run, friends and family would gather every Sunday to watch one of the 6 episodes of the final season, anticipating the action and drama in the following episode. The next day at work or school, discussions surrounding the plot, the characters, the deaths, and the ending circulated through conversations in every room. People were excited to share their thoughts, finding inside jokes with one another. It was the talk of the town. Hey guys, it's Donna. So I want to talk about something called communal television viewership. It is the act of watching a piece of content together with family or friends, specifically TV. It's a watch party. Even though having a damn good time is the main purpose of these watch parties, the byproduct created by them is often connectedness through the discourse you're having about the show. And this is prompted by simply having others around you as you watch the same thing. How many times have you connected with someone because they were both watching the current season of The Bachelor?
I am falling in love, and it feels so good!
It's as simple as that. But in recent years, there has been an increasing shift in the dichotomy of television viewing, a complete split in the usage and mentality surrounding television. Oh my god. Oh, there you are.
Wait, do you need better lighting? Because I have better lighting in my kitchen.
Hang on, does the background look decent?
Audrey, I got a few questions for you.
Yes.
Alright, do you watch TV?
No.
No. Not too much.
Cable? Absolutely never.
Do you watch any sort of shows on streaming services?
Sometimes. Mostly anime streaming sites like Crunchyroll.
I just finished watching all 8 seasons of Monk.
Generally speaking, when you watch like any Netflix, streaming services, whatever, do you watch these by yourself or with someone else?
90% of the time, 99% of the time I'm by myself.
I'd say like 50-50.
By myself, yeah.
Usually by myself. There's only one show I watch with someone else.
While communal television viewership was prevalent during the Game of Thrones era, recent years have seen a rise in solo television viewership. While sitting alone in a room with your laptop is the standard image that comes to mind, solo media consumption has also been normalized while having a meal or doing chores. Not only has it become a solitary activity, but it has become white noise that drowns out the empty silence. What once was a shared communal activity has transformed into a solitary event.
Here's something that will really amaze you.
A television set.
The most beautiful furniture you ever watched.
You know it's pure and good.
Got the message?
The television's first intended function was still to appease boredom, but the byproduct of its design typically brought people together. Historically, the television served as a family property. Advertisements from the 1950s showcased the idealized usage of this device.
RCA Victor table model. Very nice.
Located in the center of the living room, families would gather in front of the TV after work, school, and dinner to watch their favorite program in the primetime slot of a channel. Now, of course, family discussions would revolve around the broadcasted media itself. However, the act of simply being gathered together often propelled conversation that extended beyond the program. Here, parents would talk about their day at work, while children shared the most memorable thing they learned at school, or the new friend they made that day. The convenience of family already gathered together because of the television opened the door to comfortability, creating a path to more vulnerable conversations. You know, when I was thinking about this topic, I had this realization that I don't remember the last time I actually sat down and watched a TV show with someone. Movie, yes, but a TV show? I don't know. When was the last time you had a show where it was dedicated to watching it with someone else?
Last month?
Last week.
Okay, nice.
January.
A few years ago, many years ago, when I actually used to watch TV with my dad.
And yes, in my opinion, there is a difference. Movie is one and done. You talk about it that day and then never speak of it again. TV show, you're ideally coming together once a week, thereby kind of giving you more opportunity to nurture relationships. You know, kind of like The Sims. I don't know, do you guys relate or is it just me? Side note, even though I do kind of miss that, I actually don't know if I'd go back. I actually prefer watching things on my own. It's just so much more convenient. In contrast to the family TV's communal design, personal devices such as laptops and cell phones cater to the individual. You're able to customize your phone to your own liking, download apps only you want, and even if you were sharing your device, you can create separate profiles so certain settings are saved for yourself. The byproduct of this is an interface that is person-specific, rendering it better for the individual. This deliberate design encourages its users to stay on their devices longer because it is exactly made for you. No need to compromise, unlike TV. The actual platforms on these devices also operate on that same model. I mean, the ones that are most addicting: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. They all run on algorithms manufactured for the individual. This, of course, leads to more monetization opportunities. The longer you stay on your device, the more ads they can show you, the more money they make. Streaming platforms also play the same game. One way that's done is through the binge-watching model. This model encourages us to watch shows on shows, series and seasons back to back without stopping. This model runs on all episodes being available during the show's premiere, as opposed to the traditional weekly release. Additionally, once an episode ends, the next will automatically play, encouraging you to continue watching and interacting with the platform. And theoretically, the binge-watching model can be done with another person, but it's highly unlikely to find someone that can sit with you for 7 hours straight just to watch a whole season of a show. It's also just so hard not to play the next episode. But this whole model is perfect for the individual because they can customize when to watch and how much to watch in accordance to their lifestyle. There is no set schedule of Monday at 7 p.m. The binge-watching model has also created an ecosystem where we have an influx of content. Again, a big plus for the individual. Because the hype of these shows are generally short, platforms are motivated to create more shows so that users stay on their platform. Never before have we seen such a wide array of television and media content, ranging from comedy, drama, crime, animation, international films, news, podcasts, and the list goes on and on. While modern television does have a wide selection as well, streaming platforms immensely outmatch TV in catering to the individual. Yes, there is more variety, but Netflix, for example, will show you a personalized thumbnail based on previous shows you watched. Here are some thumbnails shown to someone who has an inclination to watch romance. And here are the thumbnails for the same show, but maybe shown to someone who likes thrillers. Let's introduce another possibility. It's impossible to conclude that technology better suited for the individual is the sole cause of an isolated viewing experience. You just can't say, watching Disney alone makes someone lonelier. Perhaps it is our modern lifestyle that coaxes us to gravitate toward a viewing experience that prioritizes convenience for the individual. Why do you think you mostly watch these things by yourself?
That's an interesting question. So I live by myself. I think that's the main one. Like, I live by myself, so whenever I watch something, I'm usually alone. And I like to watch things at my own pace, which is also why I prefer streaming over cable, so I can just watch whatever. So if I want to watch like 17 episodes in a row, I can do that. And if I don't want to watch anything for a week, I can do that either.
I honestly think it's just because like I'm an only child, so I'm used to doing things by myself.
Because the TV is in the living room, maybe. So the area where other people are, you put on the TV. And now that I watch streaming services mostly, pretty much only, it's on my laptop.
With trends showing millennials and Gen Z employed in more side hustles, the traditional work environment of a 9-to-5 seems like an ancient relic. Binge-watching allows things to fit nicely into our capitalistic working environment.
You do not get to watch my fucking television set.
I don't have time for traditional television where programs are cemented at certain times. Because I work so much, I am going to choose entertainment that is just more convenient for me. Rather than engaging in a never-ending chicken or egg debate, I think this shift in television viewing reveals something more about communal viewership. It hasn't disappeared. It's changed. Every time a popular show trends, there is no shortage of content about the show made by regular people. You know, just like you and me. All of that content is then immediately uploaded on social media. The memes, the tweets, the fanfics even. People even watch other people watching the show. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but the engagement for this type of content is pretty high. Meaning, television isn't something we want to just consume and internalize. We actually want to share our thoughts and ideas with others who've watched the show. Just look at the comments on this video. The biggest difference today is commonality can now be found with someone across the world, rather than your neighbor. Now, in my opinion, there are some pros and cons to this. The best thing about this is that it allows people who may have been otherwise isolated to connect with like-minded people. And I admit that sometimes it can be a little weird. But even if you weren't to talk to them, it makes you feel less alone just knowing there's another weirdo across the country. The con to this is that it demotivates you from learning how to compromise and connecting to others that are immediately in your physical community. What's the big deal? Everyone around me sucks anyway. The big deal is real life. It isn't just TV fandoms whose communities have shifted from an immediate one to a more separate and online one. This is happening with politics and social issues. And I think it is increasing this divide that we feel. If the apocalypse were to happen right now, who are you turning to for help? Not the dude from Discord in the next state. You'd want to team up with your neighbor or your family members. Will you be able to do that if you never built any sort of relationship with them? Or will you see them as the enemy because you perceive them a certain way? The lifestyle and technology that existed in the 1950s during the launch of the television no longer fits the mold of the 21st century media landscape and ecosystem. Though history may have anticipated the television to be the medium for families to gather and share a meal together while conversing beyond the show's content, over time, along with social changes in work environments and growth in media technologies, the television's use and purpose has shifted from a communal, organized event to a solo activity that fluctuates based on an individual's schedule. The idea of family and friends regularly gathering to watch a program is a concept and commitment that seems exorbitant, given the social constraints and the ease of streaming services. When so much of our brain power is dedicated to other aspects of our lives, the last thing we want to do is organize an occasion around entertainment. That's the end of the video. I will see you guys next time. Stay psyched. Do you prefer to watch them with someone else or by yourself?
I hate watching shows with other people. Oh, I hate watching shows
So like purposefully watching them because we don't like them or we think they're dull. I realized how that